Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So my first play in Palantir was right here. Is when it first came out. It took out this prior high, and I remember buying a decent amount of size. We had to move to 1049. Into that, I sold some, and I held some. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to the low. I just want to watch it. So then right here, you had a red dog reversal where it traded below 929, came back above it. That was the next time I got a little bit bigger. Had another move, trimmed some. Then I held it in here, and it went sideways. And during this time period, this week was when the market was pretty weak. And a lot of SPACs got crushed, and this was holding in there. Not this isn't a SPAC, this was a direct issue. So right on this day, if you remember, October 20th. So let's October 26th. Look at this day. Let's take a quick look at the SPYs on October 26th. On October 26th, where's October 26th? Look at this day. So on this day, the SPYs are up here. Okay, that was a lower high. So on this day was the day that I remember we broke support, and it was a very weak day. This was October 20th. So on October 20th, the SPYs just made a lower low. So the SPYs make a lower low, very weak day. You go back to the same day for PLTR, and all of a sudden on that day, the same day that the SPYs made a lower low, PLTR took out its descending trend line. So right there, I went from tier 1 to probably tier 3, if you guys remember. It was around 980. Tier 3, you had a beautiful move up to 11. So from the 9 area to 11, that first time I was selling. So I'm like, all right, I'm going from tier 3 back to tier 1. What a fantastic day. Saw the relative strength, saw a clear downtrend line, went from tier 1-ish to tier 3-ish, back to tier 1. Then there was another negative day in the market. I remember buying a little bit more. Didn't really do much into here, and then it was going sideways. So then I came in this week. I believe this was Thursday morning on Red Laurel Access. I talked to pretty much everywhere. I posted the chart. I'm like, this time we get through 11, I'm a buyer. I'm not trimming like I did when I was a buyer here. So I bought 11s, was buying 1142s because this was the prior pivot. In order to get to 12 or 13, what to do? You have to get above the prior IPO high. And then went from tier, just say 1 or 1.5 again into tier 3, back to tier 2, and then into today, I actually got flat. So this is a name that I had no idea about. It's a new issue. Some new issues turn into new leaders. Some new issues before they have their lockups. We have 2 earnings reports before the insiders are allowed to sell to create added pressure. So I put all those things together with my tier system and with my process, and all of a sudden I held this from 9 and change all the way, went to 1496. I got out a little early, and it became probably my biggest winner, or one of them, P&L wise in the past 2-3 weeks, with a name that I didn't even know 3 months ago. So it could be done. You could use a process, a tier system, connect the dots, use a little common sense, use your resources, and that can create a nice winner like it did for Red Laurel Access to virtual trading for in Palantir. I don't even know if I'm saying the name right. PLTR. At this point now, we'll revisit and we'll wait. Apple, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, we took the 118 calls into earnings into this Friday and got bailed out on those, let alone when the stock was down here. I was buying the 115s for 2.5, and I don't even remember where I sold them when the stock was at 118 and change, probably for like 5 or 6, and I'm still in some, and I've been trading the stock. I bought the stock here, added here, sold some, bought some this morning at 116 something or other, and I wound up holding well, and I trimmed it and traded it. And now it's building a nice active sequence above the moving averages, and to me, it looks like Apple is, doing very well. I love when I can stay with Apple and massage it. I make a lot of money. Can't get too bearish. Apple holds 116.13. So I'm in it, and I also sold some puts saying, hey, if Apple's going to be special, it should not get below this spot, which is 115. So if it's going to go up next week, you know what? I sold some puts. What did I sell? I sold the Apple 115 and 113 puts today. Just a way to say, hey, give me some premium as long as it stays above. So that's what I did with Apple, besides being long it, which a lot of you guys are. And Chase is still long it from here, but he's not really trading it. So Amazon held its upper area. When it was down 70, I sold some puts there too. That was good. It's going sideways, holding in better. Went below this low here, came back above it. Seems like it's going to hopefully build in here before making new highs. So figure out how you think you can responsibly long it. Some guys are long the stock. I actually sold some puts. I sold the 3140s. Why did I sell the 3140s? Because this is the gap. I said, hey, if Amazon's going to be special, it's going to have to hold 3140. So it could digest and stay here and be choppy. I don't want to trade the choppy for now, so I'll sell the puts for, I think they were $15 or $17. And if it stays above it and I sold 5 puts, I get to keep $7,000. And then every now and then there might be a trade there, but we'll see. Snap, really, really, really good to us. I bought it on this day and I added this morning, and then I bought some through 44 and I sold some and I still have some. Hit a high of 45.60. This was a big P&L trade for me today out of nowhere. But I kind of paid to watch it by sitting in it while I wasn't doing anything. Sometimes you gotta pay to keep it on the radar to stay engaged. Otherwise, these things could just go without you. I should have done that with Peloton, but I didn't. So anyway, that's that. So it looks good. Perfect, right? Pro gap, push, consolidation above the 8-day, go again. Textbook, right?